Hello everyone. In this video, let us learn about tRNA, which is transfer RNA. It is also termed as soluble RNA, supernatant RNA or adapter RNA molecule. Now this tRNA is about 10 to 15% of total weight of RNA of the cell. It can recognize codons on mRNA and exhibit high affinity for the 21 amino acid. So the tRNA will combine with amino acid and carry them to the site of protein synthesis. Every amino acid will have a different tRNA molecule. The characteristic of the tRNA is that they are the smallest among all the RNA molecules and contain about 75 to 93 nucleotides. Each tRNA molecule has a 3' end with an OH group and a 5' monophosphate terminus. So here if you see, the tRNA has single phosphate in the 5' end, whereas the mRNA has triple phosphate. Now, its nucleotides or the tRNA polynucleotide chain undergoes a tertiary or the secondary folding because of the intercomplementarity base pairing that we get to see in the tRNA molecule. Because of this base pairing, a stem loop structure is being formed, and if you see precisely in the L-shaped structure in the cell, we get to see this L-shaped 3D configuration, which is resembling a twisted clover leaf. Now this clover leaf model was proposed by R.W. Hawley in the year 1965. According to clover leaf model, there are about 4 different regions or special sites that can be recognized on the tRNA molecule. The 4 different regions are amino acid acceptor arm, anticodon arm, dihydrouridine loop, or T-Cy loop and T-Cy loop. Along with all this, we have another arm called as variable arm or variable loop. Now let us look into each of this. First, amino acid acceptor arm or amino arm, also called as AA arm. It is a double helical structure in the 3D configuration, if you can see, and it is stem like because they have base complementarity, where we can see 7 bases which are paired together. It has both 3' end and a 5' end. Now this 3' end is longer than the 5' end, and it consists of a CCA group. Now the CCA is same in all the tRNA. The CCA group is common to all the tRNA molecule. The CCA group has a adenine at the end, which has a 3' OH, which always combines with the COOH of the amino acid to form a bond. In this way, the amino acid is carried on to the tRNA molecule. The 3' OH will form bond with the COOH group of the amino acid, forming the amino acyl tRNA. The tRNA molecule which is carrying the amino acid is called as the amino acyl tRNA. Now the 3' end on the acceptor arm is called as the carrier end because it carries the amino acid. Opposite to the AA arm or the amino acid acceptor arm, we have an anticodon arm. It is a loop-like structure. It consists of about 7 to 11 unpaired nucleotides. The 7 to 11 unpaired nucleotides will form the loop of the anticodon arm. Now, this is exactly opposite to the anticodon amino acid acceptor arm. If you see the amino acid acceptor arm, to the amino acid acceptor arm, your anticodon loop is exactly opposite. Now, there are 11 nitrogenous bases of these ribonucleotides, which are complementary to that of the triplet codon of the mRNA molecule. If you see the anticodon arm, why is it called anticodon? Because the anticodon loop has nucleotides which are always complementary to the codon on the mRNA. So it is the nucleotides that is present in the anticodon loop is opposite to the codon on the mRNA. That is why it is called as anticodon loop. Now this base complementarity, that is the anticodon loop, will form hydrogen bonds with the codons that is present, temporary hydrogen bonds with the codons that is present on the mRNA during protein synthesis, which actually helps in the proofreading mechanism to bring the correct amino acid to the site of protein synthesis. Only if this pairing is correct, it says that the correct amino acid has entered to the site of protein synthesis for the protein formation. Apart from the anticodon loop, we have a DHU loop or a dihydrouridine loop. It is also a loop-like arm. It has a enzyme recognition site which is specific to the amino acid activating enzyme. The amino acid activating enzyme is the tRNA synthetase. So the tRNA molecule actually binds to the tRNA synthetase where it can bind to the amino acid. So this DHU loop is the recognition site for the tRNA synthetase, which helps in the catalysis of the specific amino acid to bind to the tRNA molecule. Apart from dihydrouridine loop, we also have a T-Cy-C loop. It is a loop-like structure. If you see here, we have the unpaired base pairs again. That's why it forms the loop. And this site has a special nucleotide, that is pseudouridine and thymine. In no other mRNA we get to see thymine, but whereas in tRNA we get to see thymine along with the pseudouridine and cytosine. That's why it's called as T-Cy-C loop. Now this loop will bind to the ribosome. This is the site for attachment to a ribosome. This site is also common to all the tRNA molecule. It is formed of 5 base pairs. If you see, the T-Cy-C loop has a 5 base pairs and a terminal loop with 7 nitrogenous bases. In the terminal loop there is 7 nitrogenous bases. So this loop is the site of attachment on the ribosomes. And then we have a variable arm. It contains about 4 to 2 nucleotides. Now this variable, the function of the variable arm is not well studied. It stabilizes the tertiary structure of the RNA, and it also varies in the tRNA modification. That is all is being known till now. And if we look into the unusual bases that is usually present in tRNA are inosinic acid, which is present in the anticodon loop. Methyl guanidine is also present in the anticodon loop. Then you have a pseudouridine, and we also have a dihydroxyuridine. So these are the unusual base pairs or bases that are usually present in the tRNA molecule. The function of the tRNA molecule is the tRNA always plays a very important role in protein synthesis. It picks up a specific amino acid from the cytoplasm and it will carry it to the site of protein synthesis, and it will attach itself to the ribosome, and it will it will read the codon on the mRNA, and it will add the correct amino acid to the polypeptide chain that is being synthesized during the protein synthesis at ribosome. So that is the function of the tRNA. That is all about tRNA. In my next video, we will look into the rRNA. Thank you all.